Glory to Jesus Christ. Welcome back. You are listening to The Voice of Reason. And on today's episode, I am going to be responding to a request from one of my patrons. So Salvador, who is one of my amazing patrons, he asked me to make a video in which I discuss the Council of Chalcedon, which is the Fourth Ecumenical Council, which took place in the year 451, and the Christology of the Oriental Orthodox Church, which is the communion that broke away from the rest of the church at the Council of Chalcedon. And Salvador told me that he was looking into the Christology of the Oriental Orthodox Church and that it was making him question Chalcedon. It seems like he was a little bit confused about the controversy surrounding the Council of Chalcedon, the Oriental Orthodox, and the Christology. I can understand why it's confusing, and I've already talked to Salvador about this, and I assured him that he had nothing to be confused about, because it turns out that the Christology of the Oriental Orthodox Church, which is known as Miaphysite Christology or Miaphysite Christology, that Christology is indeed the Christology that was taught by the Council of Chalcedon in 451. Now, let me explain. The Council of Chalcedon is the Fourth Ecumenical Council in which the church got together to discuss the natures of Jesus Christ. The Council of Chalcedon tells us that Jesus Christ had two natures. So Jesus Christ is one person, he is one divine person, which means that he has a divine nature, but he took on human flesh, which means that he also took on a human nature. So the Council of Chalcedon teaches that there is one Jesus and he has two natures, divine and human. Now, the Oriental Orthodox Christians who were at the Council of Chalcedon, and these are the Apostolic Christians of Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Armenia, places in other places in Southwest Asia like India. The Oriental Orthodox Christians, they were at the Council of Chalcedon, and they rejected the Council of Chalcedon because they believed that the Council of Chalcedon was teaching Nestorianism. Why did they believe that the Council of Chalcedon taught Nestorianism when the Council of Chalcedon actually affirmed the previous council from 20 years prior? That's the Council of Ephesus. And the Council of Ephesus condemned Nestorianism. So the Oriental Christians were obviously confused because they saw the Council of Chalcedon affirming the Council of Ephesus, but then in their language and in their theology, to them it seemed like they were teaching Nestorianism. Why? So here's where the confusion comes in. The reason that the Orientals split from the rest of the church at the Council of Chalcedon is because of one word and one word only, and that word was physis. The one word physis is the word that caused the split between the Orientals and the Chalcedonian Christians. Why? Well, it was all over a big misunderstanding. You see, the word physis was used in two different ways. It was used in one way by the Greeks and the Latins, but it was used in another way by the Syriacs and the Coptics, the Orientals. You see, physis for the Syriacs and the Coptics, for the Oriental Christians, physis means person. That is how Saint Cyril of Alexandria used that term at the Council of Chalcedon. But for the Greeks and the Latins, the term physis means nature. So the Greeks and the Latins use the word to mean nature. The Coptics and the Syriacs use that word to mean person. So when the Council of Chalcedon taught that Jesus Christ had a dual physis, that he had two natures, a divine nature and a human nature, the Oriental Christians, they understood that to mean that Jesus Christ was two persons, which is the heresy of Nestorianism. Nestorianism is the belief that there's two Jesuses, that there's the divine Jesus and the human Jesus. That's a heresy. And that's the heresy that the Orientals mistakenly thought that the Chalcedonian Christians were teaching when they said that Jesus Christ had two physis. That's the problem, is that they were using the word in different ways. See, the word physis to the Orientals means person. The corresponding word for the Greeks and the Latins was the word hypostasis. So hypostasis, that is the word that they used to signify the one person that is Jesus Christ. Hypostasis for the Greeks and the Latins, and physis for the Orientals, for the Syriacs and the Coptics. And because they had two different words to mean the same thing, when the Latins and the Greeks used the word physis to signify nature, that's what caused the confusion, and that caused the split. So it was all over confusion over one word because they had different definitions. It was all over language. It was language issues that caused that schism. It's a really unfortunate schism, and it should not have happened. But here's the thing. We are not divided. We are not, Chalcedonian Christians, which is Catholics and the Orthodox, we are not divided with the Oriental Orthodox when it comes to our Christology. The Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church, and the Oriental Orthodox Church have all come together, and they have already signed documentation to say that we all agree on Christology, that the original split that happened back then in the year 451 at the Council of Caledon was due solely to a misunderstanding due to the language barrier. We mean the exact same thing. So there have been 4 different times, actually in recent years, that all of these Apostolic Communions have come together to say that there are no differences between them over Christology, that it was just a misunderstanding. The first one happened in 1973, then there was one in 1986, and then there was 2 in 1990. And I think there actually might have been another one since then. The Oriental Orthodox Church has been talking a lot with the Catholic Church, but I know for sure those 4, 73, 86, and 2 in 1990, where these Apostolic Communions got together and they said, hey, we have no issues with each other whatsoever when it comes to Christology. We believe the same thing. We just meant 2 different things when we use this one particular word, but we mean the same thing. So that's huge. That's really important because, again, the schism with the Oriental Orthodox is one of the most unfortunate, needless, and unnecessary things that has ever happened in the history of the church. So the Monophysitism of the Oriental Orthodox is the same thing as the Diaphysitism of the Chalcedonian Christians. So what that means is that you don't have to question Chalcedon because of Monophysite Christology, and you don't have to question Monophysite Christology because of Chalcedon, because they are indeed compatible. Now, what is a heresy that you cannot hold to is Monophysitism. Monophysitism is the belief that Jesus Christ only had one nature. Now, that is a heresy. That is a heresy that was condemned by the Council of Caledon, but that heresy is also condemned by the Miaphysite Christians, the Oriental Christians. They say that Monophysitism is indeed a heresy. So the Chalcedonian Christians and the Oriental Orthodox Christians, we are actually together. We are in union to condemn Monophysitism. So what that means is that there is no reason that we cannot reunite with the Oriental Orthodox Church. And that's what I want to see. I want all of the Oriental Orthodox Christians to come back into full communion with Rome, with the Catholic Church, because there's nothing stopping us from reunion. We have the same Christology. We agree on pretty much everything. So let's reunite. Let's reunite, because being reunited feels so good. Let's pray for it, guys. And Salvador, I hope that you enjoyed this video, my friend. I hope that I put your mind at ease and you no longer have to worry about doubting Chalcedon or doubting Miaphysitism, because they teach the same thing. So, thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember that if you have any video requests that you'd like to make of me, or any videos that you want me to respond or react to, go to patreon.com/voice of reason, because all of my patrons, I answer each and every single one of their requests, and I would love to answer yours. See you there. God bless you guys. Glory to Jesus Christ.